Absolutely, Marcellus Wiley. And the more I have thought about this, the more worried I have become.
Let's go.
The Cowboys, remember, they started off hot, 5-1 out the gate. They were smoking. But remember, I said that what Mike McCarthy, head coach of the Cowboys, does well is handle adversity. What Mike McCarthy does not do well is handle success. Go back, I believe it was 2015.
Right.
Packers start off 6-0. They hit a bye week. Coming off that bye week, they end up losing 3 consecutive games. Now we look at the Cowboys. They start off 5-1. They have a bye week. Dak Prescott, since the bye week, is 1-2, lost 2 of his last 3 games. When I look at these Cowboys, this might be the beginning of the wheels falling off. Now, it's not just by nature of the Cowboys it was a fluke. No. Cowboys' offensive line, they do not have enough depth to sit here and have injuries, Tyron Smith, but also try to replace starting left guard Connor Williams for Connor McGovern, who ended up being just as unproductive in their performance. Worried about that. I'm also worried about this. Cowboys fans, hear me now when I say this. Dak Prescott, when he plays a good game, other quarterbacks, they play better games. When other great quarterbacks play bad games, Dak Prescott plays a worse game. Reminding you all, Dak Prescott played well week 1 against the Bucs, but Tom Brady played better. Patrick Mahomes played bad this past weekend against the Cowboys, but Dak Prescott played worse. So when I need Dak Prescott to be greater than, he's not as good as. When I need him to not be as bad as, he is worse than. Now, Dak Prescott in totality obviously is balling this year. Now, he's not as hot as he was, and we will get to that. But I'm worried about the Cowboys because they got injuries right now that they can't overcome. They got a quarterback right now who, although he is playing extremely well against Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes, still can't find a way to get over those hurdles. And we have a team altogether that cannot find its way since the bye week and really can't handle the adversity that comes with playing in the NFL this season and being successful in the NFL this season. So I am a little worried about them boys.
I just learned something new about my boy, my co-host. He's the worrying type. Is everything good? That's why you take all your pictures so well manicured. You praying hands like you're empathetic. You always got your suit out, parched lips, all that stuff. You're a worrying type, huh? You care about your reception, huh? These Cowboys don't care about how they're being received right now because this ain't money time. They care about the process and continuing to prepare for the ultimate goal. I'm not worried about the Cowboys. Why? They're not healthy. You talk about the offensive line, the Great Wall of Dallas. Have you ever been there? Have you ever scaled the Great Wall of Dallas? Since you're from Dallas, absolutely not. The Great Wall of Dallas is not there. We don't have Lyle Collins on one tackle. We don't have Tyrod Smith on the other tackle. We don't have that line as is. Only week 1 is the time we saw the Great Wall of Dallas. They predict this Thursday we'll see the Great Wall of Dallas. We'll see. They don't have the running game. Ezekiel Elliott, last 4 weeks, not been Ezekiel Elliott just of yet. You look at their running game, not supporting Dak Prescott, and then you want to break the season up based on the bye week. Well, let's just use that as a calendar for all NFL teams since the bye week. How are the Tennessee Titans looking since the Cowboys won?
Not good.
Okay. How the Rams looking? Tampa Bay, didn't they lose? Okay, here we go. Your Super Bowl preview is what? Which 2 teams?
I got the Rams and the Chiefs.
Oh, I thought you did. Woo, roller coaster. Strap on, Six Flags. You've been on a ride. Here's the thing about your Rams team. Where are their good wins? You can say, well, week 2, we beat the Colts. And you just now finally start to feel good about that win because before you were looking like the Colts ain't that much. Now the Colts are rolling. You could talk about the fact that they beat, Tampa. Okay. And then Tampa goes and loses, and then we're looking at Tampa a little differently, but Tampa has recovered. Point being, all of their wins are against suspect to sorry teams. So this is not the time for us to go out with the deep assessment, certainly not the time to go out there and worry. I look at the Cowboys, and I realize, look, if you can have the number 1 offense, you put yourself in position to win. Last 5 Super Bowl champions have been top 5 in scoring offense. I love the Dallas Cowboys when I see them coming in terms of talent. I like what I see in terms of them going through the process and the growing pains. They're just not healthy. Ezekiel Elliott has a knee. The offensive line has been injured. We know what the compromised wide receiving core looked like, this weekend against the Kansas City Chiefs. You add all that up, man, they don't have the consistency they desire because they don't have the health that they desire. But I think this team will return to form once they return to health. But there are no issues with the team and certainly not their mental makeup.
I can't fully disagree that they'll return to form once they return to health. I think a lot of teams will. I think the Buccaneers will fully return to form when they return to health. The Titans will return to form when they return to health, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I do not fully disagree with that thought process. However, it's not just about the Cowboys returning to form, returning to health. You and I argued about this ad nauseum yesterday, and we will continue to during the course of this show. You believe players should play to their standard. Teams should play to their standard regardless of what is going on around you. I went back, I sat on that thought.
You better, because I got to you.
The Cowboys should not then be worried about the Bucs losing games to the Washington football team. They shouldn't look around at the Rams getting embarrassed by the Titans. They shouldn't look around at the Bills losing to the Jaguars, because the Cowboys should forever play to their standard, if that is, in fact, the Cowboys' standard.
Okay.
Now, what I'm not going to do is convince myself that the Cowboys know how to turn it on, because we have yet to see them turn it on come the playoffs. We didn't see it in 2016, not when they lost to the Packers. We didn't see it in 2018, not when they lost to the Rams. We haven't seen the Cowboys just flip the switch. So I'm not going to bank on the Cowboys flipping a switch. What I want to see from the Cowboys is consistency. Consistency with success, consistency through adversity. Everybody hurt right now. From Derrick Henry to Aaron Rodgers dealing with COVID to DeAndre Hopkins with the Cardinals and Kyler Murray. Everybody's hurt. Can y'all weather the storm in the midst of it?
Yeah, but it's unfair to bring up some of those references you brought up. You bring up 2016. Was Mike McCarthy there? CeeDee Lamb there? Like money guys, Micah Parsons. You bring up these yesteryears, and then you say that the Dallas Cowboys, but that's not the team. That's just the same organization, same uniform, not the same team in terms of the individuals. I can't do that. And I never said standard yesterday. Don't you try to put words in my mouth. I don't use standard. That's a standard word. I don't use those type of words. I use sophisticated words. I think potential is volatile. I think success is not linear. I think that you got to play up to the best you, but the best you is always going to be different. But hopefully, you're always going with an upward trajectory at least. What I like about the Dallas Cowboys is simple. They got squad, bruh. Like, do we got to get so damn suit and tie up here that we got to talk so eloquently about all of these different stats and just say, hey, dog, they got a team. And if they play up to their potential, who's going to beat them? That's the conversation I like to have, and that's my mindset. That's why I'm not worried about the Dallas Cowboys. You can be a stress magnet, though. I deal with a lot of people. I'm trying to work through with my own inner being of being a better version of myself when I'm around a stress magnet. I guess you're a stress magnet right now. You're looking at all the little things, and you ever do this experiment? 8th grade it was for me, I think. First time we ever got a microscope, public school. So we got a microscope, and then, they telling us that we got to dissect a frog and a pig. I was like, no, let's start off simple, y'all. Let's just get a drop of water and see what's on that. And then you ever see a drop of water under a microscope? Yo, you ain't gonna ever drink again. You're like, hell no, what's going on? All these things, molecules moving around stuff. And I was like, nah, that's you. You got the Dallas Cowboys under a microscope, and you're looking and you're seeing every little speck, every little issue. And me, I'm just the one that's like, hey, dog, welcome to my home. Welcome to the Dallas Cowboys and our greatness. Oh, by the way, that closet on the left, don't open that door. That's where I hide all my issues. Everything else is on full display. And if you look at this team on full display, injuries is the only thing that's keeping them on this roller coaster. Nothing else in terms of how they can play. Dak Prescott injured, coming back from injury. We saw the Denver Broncos game. But outside of that, Acho, I'm digging in the stats with you as well. I'm looking at the water under the microscope as well. I was like, man, stop that. Take a sip.
The problem, Sel, is you're looking at water in the wrong places. You're looking at water under a microscope. I'm looking at water building up in the clouds. What I'm trying to do is forecast what might go wrong for the Dallas Cowboys. And the forecast tells me that, yes, the players are incredibly talented, but they have a head coach that is going to paralyze the success of the team.
That head coach that has won a Super Bowl is going to paralyze this team from winning another?
Because one was past tense. Winning is future. Past tense, that coach has won a Super Bowl.
Do that to
but I want to talk future tense.
Don't do that to Belichick.
I'm talking about Mike McCarthy. He just makes oxymoronic decisions. He makes contradictory decisions. What? Remember against the Patriots, first quarter, his own 34-yard line, he goes for it on 4th and 1, doesn't get it. But against that same Patriots team, in the fourth quarter, 4th and 2 at the Patriots' 34-yard line. Now you kick a field goal, y'all miss it. Make it make sense, Mike McCarthy. Let's talk about this past Sunday. Against the Kansas City Chiefs, we have the play. You have timeouts, McCarthy. You got 2 timeouts left. But for some reason, you don't want to use any of your timeouts.
There you go.
But you want to run a play as though you have no timeouts. McCarthy, you got 2 timeouts left. Just run a slant, run some in-breaking route, use a timeout. But instead, you run 4 verticals, send all your receivers to the goal line, and call a play as though you have no timeouts. Mike McCarthy makes no sense oftentimes during the course of a game. I said it before, I'll say it again. Cowboys have a Super Bowl roster with a wild card head coach. You cannot take timeouts home like they are leftovers. Timeouts got to be used adequately and used efficiently. I do not like Mike McCarthy's game management as of late, and I actually think that's the biggest reason I'm worried about the Cowboys.
Oh, okay. All right. I like that. You came back with a little punch. I felt something on me. Oh, is that lint? I'm sorry. Oh, that was your uppercut? Nah, it didn't get me like that. Cowboys. Look at this Cowboys team right now in terms of how high scoring this team is. Cowboys have 40-plus in 3 games, tied for NFL lead. Cowboys have 35-plus in 5 games, tied for NFL lead. Cowboys are 5-1 in the NFC. That's the best amongst all NFC teams. The road ahead, if you want to talk about the Cowboys, if you really want to put it back in a microscope under it, or you want to put it in the clouds, wherever you want to look at this, Cowboys are in good position, bro. You got to just respect what they are doing, because you come up here and champion for the LA Rams, and I look at them against winning teams and I have the same record as the Cowboys. Cowboys look better against winning teams than the Rams do, and that's your number 1 team. All I want is consistency, as you want from the Cowboys. I'm not hearing that consistency. I'm hearing a direct causation and correlation between the Cowboys and their health concerns. The healthy Cowboys look great. The Cowboys that got the running game issues and the bad knee and offensive linemen being shuffled, they're not the same. So then
let's bump all the statistics. Let's talk ball.
Oh, now you want to do that.
I haven't used statistics all show. I haven't looked at my notes all show.
Yes.
And the Rams are not my present top flight team.
When you're not looking at the clouds.
If you watched the game, which I know you did, like I watched the game, you're worried about the Cowboys' health. We've agreed on that.
Yeah.
We're worried about the Cowboys, which we should be.
Yeah, that's not exclusive to the Cowboys.
Exactly right.
Okay,
but
so
that still means
I'm not worried about the Cowboys. I'm worried about every team's health that has potential.
Sure, and the Cowboys are a team that has potential, so you're worried about the Cowboys.
No, we're not exclusive. You try to bring it down to the Cowboys.
So we're worried about the health of the Cowboys. I'm also worried about the short week of the Cowboys, given CeeDee Lamb, concussion, we don't know if he's going to play. Amari Cooper, we know he's not going to play because of COVID. Zeke has his knee issue, not sure if he's going to play this week against the Raiders. Tyron Smith's still out, so now I'm worried about the Cowboys versus this Raiders team. I'm also concerned because you got blown out by the Broncos at home. But we chalked that up to, you said everybody has a bad game. I agree with you. A bunch of teams have had bad games.
Every team has had a bad game.
But then you lose to the Chiefs by another bad game. So now I'm like, Sel, is it a bad game? Or coming off this bye week, are you all not as good of a team? That's my concerns. I know the statistics. I know the Cowboys have a great offense. I know they've scored 40 plus. I get all that. Yeah. But if we're watching the games, I'm worried about the Cowboys' health. Not only at the offensive line, but also at the running back, the wide receiver position. So I'm worried about their health. And also, coming off the bye week, they haven't looked the same since. Dak Prescott and the offense hasn't looked the same since. So for that reason, I'm not exclusively worried about the Cowboys.
That's all I said.
But I'm also worried about the Cowboys.
Well, if you're worried about a lot of things, then you're in general, like I said, someone who is the worrying type. If you're saying, well, Cowboys, and another team, and you just continue with that line, then you're just the worrying type. Not me. I respect this. Look, reason why I got to keep it with the statistics and work my own mindset in terms of how I view this team is because the statistics keeps me in the real world, reality. And then I can take you to a subjective experience about the hypotheticals of what the Cowboys may endure. But let's talk about the real. The Cowboys have already handled their role. This is the best record they've had since 2016. That's without a Super Bowl winning head coach. That was without Dak Prescott being a veteran. That's without Ezekiel Elliott being a veteran. That's without CeeDee Lamb being on the roster. This is the best the Cowboys looked since they've had this quarterback in Dak Prescott. That's not something I sneeze at. That's something that gives me confidence more so than worry. Now, if I look at what's in front of the Cowboys, they get healthy. Guess what? They're going to look to the side. Other team's going to get healthy. Where is they all going to match up? That's when the talent and the execution comes into play. Cowboys are second to none in talent. We'll see how they execute. But last time I checked, I trust somebody who's been on that journey before, Super Bowl winning head coach, versus all these other ones trying to figure out what the road ahead is.